yourself in the Blue Mountains. Sweet music coming your way. Come sit yourself down in the best bar in town, a place called the Soulside Cafe. You'll be glad to be found in the best bar in town, a place called the Soulside. There's a place called the Soulside Cafe on the quiet side of the track, where the train will bring you this way and another to take you right back. There's a 1,000-mile coffee machine. He stands with a welcome and smile. When he asks how you going, he means it. This coffee could take you a while. If you find yourself in the Blue Mountains, sweet music coming your way, come sit yourself down in the best bar in town, a place called the Soulside Cafe.
Okay, guys, welcome to the show. Thanks very much for everyone playing at home tonight. Thanks very much for supporting us, supporting art in the Blue Mountains. Art is not dead. We're sort of living through pretty troubled times at the moment, and it's just really fantastic that we can all come out together and just be part of a community, and that we can sort of show our little version of being kind to each other, to the world. Tonight we've got a great show. The overriding theme is children's literature. I checked, apparently it's called Kid Lit, which feels a bit tricky to say as a white heterosexual on my way to getting rich man. It feels a little bit disrespectful to say Kid Lit, but I checked. Apparently that's what they like us to say. Yeah, see, they're nodding, it's okay. So Kid Lit is the thing, and tonight we've got some amazing guests here. James Roy, a spectacular author, and I've known him for a fair while myself and got to know him personally, and he's all around good bloke, even though I do get very jealous of his multi-polymath musical skills. Charmaine Ledden-Lewis, she's a spectacular illustrator, and I'll be having a bit of a talk with her, and I'm really looking forward to that. And Toby Riddle is an amazing artist and illustrator as well. We've got some little sneak peeks at some local bookshops and what they do, because the goal of this thing is for you guys to get excited about children's literature, because everyone's got children somewhere in their family. Get excited about our local illustrators and writers and everyone in the thing, and then be able to support our local bookshops by buying stuff, not from those clowns on Amazon, but in our local community. I'd like to, so that's what's going on for the show. Oh, Mel's quiz, lightning quiz, playing for someone in the room. You can win a T-shirt. I believe there's a vintage Australian Book Council T-shirts, illustrations. So they're, what do they call that? They're very, you can't get them. Can't get them anymore. Very rare. Only exclusively here at the Soul Side. And then Mel's quiz. That's fantastic. Should be playing for you guys. And then we've got Talina doing the awkward what's on, and lots of other stuff in the middle. So can I welcome to the stage the Art of Joinery to play their latest single. Check them out on The Art of Joinery / Facebook, The Art of Joinery. Yes. Yeah, and you'll see what's going on. And also on YouTube. And make sure you follow them, or give them a follow on thing so you can see where they're playing around town and check it out. So I'll get it your way, and please welcome The Art of Joinery.
wanna feel it all. Oh, yeah. I just wanna see it all. I just wanna feel it all. Oh, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Whoa,
It was a wonderful woman, and Mel is her daughter as well. And so the whole Hamilton family has been really central to children's literature, especially picture book illustration. So Max, it's so good to see you here tonight, mate. And your darling Margaret is dearly missed.
I've heard stories, but I arrived too late. I never got to meet her. I don't think she would have put up with much of my rubbish.
She would have put up with none of it. None of it.
James, I just sort of, I needed a segue to get from that, but I don't have one, so I'm just going to jump into an awkward change in direction. Like I've known James for a little while now, and like I said, we talk a lot of rubbish, but we also talk about stuff, like how we feel about stuff. And one question that keeps coming up for me, when you were a kid, or at what point did you realise that writing was a way maybe to get out or to process or to express what things that may not have been super easy?
Well, yeah.
Or did it do that at all? Was it just
No,
nothing? You
it
just go,
definitely
there's
did.
money in this, I'm into it.
Yeah, because that's a mistake that a lot of people make when they start writing. But no, look, for me, it was there were three key moments I think that I can remember as a kid, because I was from a missionary family, a Seventh-day Adventist missionary family, deeply conservative, growing up in Fiji, and I remember my dad one day he was studying his masters in education through Deakin, and he was doing it externally, obviously. And one day a box of books turned up. And he was studying a children's literature unit. And I remember he opened that box of books, and it was full of all these classic books, like my favourite book, Josh by Ivan Southall, which is an amazing book, and Young Unicorns, and Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and a whole bunch of just classic children's literature. And so I said to my dad, look, you can borrow these anytime you want. I took them to my room, they were my library. My friend Shannon had a similar kind of library. But there were three real moments. One of them was when I read in Josh by Ivan Southall, which is one of the great, it was the first Australian book to win the Carnegie Medal, which is the biggest children's literature prize in the world. And I think only one other Australians won. I think Sonia Hartnett might have won it, but at that stage she was the only one. And this book called Josh really reflected how I felt, because it's about a young boy from Melbourne who, as a rite of passage, has to go and stay with his Aunt Clara out in a place called Ryan Creek, which his great-grandfather he basically founded this town. And this kid, it's a rite of passage for him to go. He doesn't really want to go, and when he gets there, he finds that it's nothing he expected it to be, and he's completely out of his depth, which really reflected how I felt growing up as a missionary kid in Fiji. And but there's also this other great moment towards the end of the book where, because my dad being a teacher, he was very much about the the rules and the predicates and all that crap. But there's a really great, I would argue that Josh by Ivan Southall is really the first verse novel published in Australia, even though it doesn't look like verse on the page, because there are all these incomplete sentences. And I remember getting to one where it was a 2-word sentence with a comma in the middle, and it just said, because this kid, just goes through this awful experience, and he's been bullied by these horrible kids from Ryan Creek, and they've given him a cricket uniform because they've asked him to play cricket, but of course they've gaslit him by giving him this incredibly oversized cricket uniform made of wool. And so he falls off the creek into the river and he's sinking. And I remember reading the line, it's just a 2-word sentence, it's Josh, drowning. And I remember reading that going, my God, I knew it. I knew you could write sentences that didn't make sense and make them make sense, right? So that was the moment for me when I read that. The other one was Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, which I'll come back to in a tick. Lord of the Flies. My brother was reading Lord of the Flies. I was in grade 6. I shouldn't have been reading Lord of the Flies. I read it. If you haven't seen the new Stan treatment of it, unbelievably good, because it's a proper horror movie. It's a horror show. And Lord of the Flies has been sanitised so much. It's all these young fellows, from public schools, and they're all tickety-boo having a lovely time. It's fucking insane. These kids are out of control. So I love that. And there was this moment when Piggy falls off a rock and lands flat on his back. No spoilers. Lands flat on his back. His head opens up, pink stuff comes out and turns red, the words say. And I remember reading that and just going,
Fuck.
whoa,
Right.
that is just brutal. And Piggy, I'd kind of come to know him, and it was like watching a friend die, and it was really complete and instant. And I thought, I want to do that. I want to make people feel something strong when they read my words. And the third one, super quick, was...
You go, I'm just like far out.
Yeah, sorry,
So literary.
And the third far out, yeah. The third one was, and as a Seventh-day Adventist kid who is now a card-carrying born-again atheist, back then I remember reading The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, and there's this moment in there where C.S. Lewis, who was supposed to be the greatest Christian apologist of all time, the children go to Aslan, and it's an allegory of Jesus dying to save the world from sin. And there's this moment when the children go to Aslan, who has died and come back to life, and they go up to him and they say, "What is going on? We don't understand how this can be, that you can die, come back to life, and suddenly Edmund, who's done all this bad shit, is suddenly everything's okay. How does that work?" I remember reading that at the age of about 10, 11, and going, this is when I'm going to get told how this works, because I never understood it. And he completely screws the pooch, because what C.S. Lewis says, he says, Aslan shook his great head, looked at the girls and said, "Oh dear children, it is a greater magic than you can ever understand." And I felt so betrayed in that moment, because I had been told that this C.S. Lewis dude, he was the guy. He was the guy who would make it all make sense. And he completely failed, because he said, "It's a magic, you can't understand it." And I thought, I'm going to do that. I want to write things that tell stories that make people not just go, "Oh, that was a good story." I want them to get to the end of the story and go, "Now I need to process this and make something of it."
Yeah.
Short question, very long answer.
No, that's good. I liked it. Yeah. It's like Chacho Gold, you know? Yeah. I kind of had a little bit of a, like, you know how proper interviewers have like one question and they take the end and they sort of lead into it. You'd probably know that from the literary thing, but I had that in my head, but I got so into the story that I forgot my part. And so now I'm just doing that natural backpedaling thing when I think, oh, no, I don't. No, yeah, it's good. It's okay. I'm handling it. I thought that this moment would come when I mispronounced Charmaine Lewis's name, but turns out it's not what you expected. It's now. So you've sort of had this realization that you wanted, because it's a lot to ask. Like for a young kid to go, I want to. You know, a lot of people just go, "Oh, I really liked my older brother had books and I really liked him and I thought I wanted to do that." But like, this is not nothing. This is quite powerful stuff for a young... You're 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, when I was 10 years old, I was like, you know, growing corn is really cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that was the big thing for me.
Yeah, but the other thing is, David...
Chickens are pretty awesome. And like, you know, and John Oakford down the road, his parents both got jobs, so they've got fizzy drink delivered to their house. Whoa, yeah. And so I'm going to go there. That was the sort of level of I want this in my life. And what I'm hearing for you, this is a lot for a 10-year-old to have these, to know what he wants to do.
The other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to sail around the world.
Yeah, that's cool. I wanted that too. I'm doing that.
And I didn't do that.
Yeah.
I also wanted to be a fireman. I didn't do that. But really, all I ever really wanted to do was tell stories. It was, you know, and so now in my music, and I haven't written a book for a couple of years, but storytelling is where it's at. And the first thing I say to young people when we're talking about creative writing is I say, don't ever forget that story is the first thing. You get that box ticked. Yeah. Everything else can fall into place. But it's when people get really tedious with their storytelling and go, you know, I think the worst thing you can say to a kid, either directly or implied when you're writing for them, is the moral of the story is. Because kids go, I'm not a bloody idiot. I know what it means. I can see what the moral, you know, you tell a story about the boy who cried wolf, you know. Oh, wolf, wolf, and goes, oh, that kid, and one day, wolf, and it's a real wolf, and he gets eaten. And of course the moral of that story is, if you tell lies, you get eaten by wolves, I think, is the moral. But you don't have to tell kids that because they're not
They get it,
idiots,
they get
right?
it, yeah.
And so tell them a story. If you can somehow sneak something in there,
Yes.
that's nice as well. But the first job has got to be story.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to be, for me, people think that I like stuff, but
No shit.
Yeah, but see, for me, it's like the base is not the base. It's the story of, you know, how you and me had a bidding war to
We
get
did,
that
we did.
base. You know, and that other one there, it's not that base. It's that Murray from the church across the road's dad got it in San Francisco in the 70s for $25, and somehow it made it all the way here. And so I love stories about things, and they don't even have to be true half the time. I love a good story because it brings people closer together, and it is a good way if people are struggling with something to sort of get understanding of something that maybe they wouldn't come to them by themselves, I guess that's sort of like, through, Charmaine's whole culture has been storytelling from, for 60,000 years. Like, these guys know how to tell stories, you know what I mean?
And some, yeah.
And some.
Carbon dating keeps
And
getting
some,
better.
yeah. So I really think that telling stories is just amazing, and that you can do it blows me away. And so how is that? Have you had moments where you've wanted to tell stories but you just can't get the whole picture, or like, does it always flow just easily, or is it just like heaps and heaps and heaps of work and then somehow you pull it together?
Look, Ernest Hemingway said, writing is easy. You sit at the keyboard and bleed onto it, which is kind of oddly appropriate when you think about how he died. But yeah, it is a bit like that. Although my blog, when I had a blog back in the days of blogs, was called Head versus Desk, because that was where my head spent most of its time, because that kind of overwhelming just fatigue, brain fatigue from sitting and working on an idea. That, it's a really terrifying thing for a writer, is to look at an empty page, and we do it every day. I've been doing it for 10 years now, don't tell you. But you look at an empty page and it's utterly terrifying. So you put something on it and then you start to make sense. But I've completely forgotten
Does it ever go somewhere that you, do you ever find that you think you're going to do this?
Oh, 100%.
And then for some reason it almost creates itself or steers
I've
itself?
never yet written the book that I thought I was going to write. It never ends up being that book. It always ends up being about something else. Because
something hidden from you, maybe.
And you let your characters do the work. Your characters will tell you what they want to do with it, and you sort of get this big left turn. That might be a good time to look at this.
Oh, look at this! Oh, we've got a couple of minutes left.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't know if you guys picked up or not, but part of the us being more of a professional show going forward is we actually stick to our time schedule, mate. So sounds like we've got a couple of minutes left. Great answers, but geez, they're getting long. So now we're at the bit where we get to talk about what. Okay, so James Roy.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this, and I think, this is the other professional part of the show, is when the punters at home get to see. I go like this. When we first started off, I used to go like that. And now, look at that.
Look at
See?
that.
James Roy, Town, on the screen. People at home see,
Yeah, right.
yeah. So, James, tell us about...
Magic.
I'm going to keep this one. I'm
Okay.
going to hold it back for story tension. Tell us about, what's this about? What's this photograph about, James?
Well, this came about a little bit. Well, the photographs have really got nothing to do with it. That's just a cool picture. But the story really came about because I wanted to write short stories. I didn't know much about short stories. And then Margot Lanigan, who's an amazing short story writer, she said, look, people think you've got to have the big twist at the end, but sometimes it's just a slice of life. Sometimes it's just a moment in someone's life. And so I wrote one story that was published in a different book, and it was about a kid I knew called Johnny Pengley. And Johnny Pengley was beyond Neurospicy. he was a very interesting young lad who thought he was a bit like you, Dave. He thought he was on a motorbike all the time.
Yeah.
And he would motorbike around the field, and nobody tried to teach him much. And then one time, spoiler, the school jock, Leroy Moore, I won't say his full name. The first one was Leroy. I won't say his last name was Morgan. But he hit the ball in the air, and Johnny took the catch, just by complete surprise. And we ran down the field to congratulate him because we all hated this other kid. And he threw it in the air and sped off because he thought we were trying to get him off his motorbike, which didn't exist. And so he's running off right across the field. And so I wrote that story. And when I'd finished writing that story, I thought, this is really interesting because myself in the story, I knew several other people in that story because it was a true story. And I liked them. They were my friends, but this other kid. But then there were other kids who were friends with him who thought we were dicks and they were the cool kids. And so I thought, what about the story from their point of view? So I told a different story from one of their point of view. Ended up with 13 overarching stories that where they're completely unreliable narrators, but they're all telling a tapestry of a whole school year in a town very much like Morisset, where I went to school. So that was, and that one got a couple of gongs, that one, and that was a really exciting project because I was quite literally, although the the guy from the delivery guy, he thought I was having a beautiful mind kind of moment because all the stories are interconnected. I had to. Had them all
Just string or-
whiteboard. But I didn't have a big enough whiteboard, so I used the window of my study, which faced out on the front porch. So I would have all these things. Yeah, I had all these lines and dotted lines and thought bubbles all over the place. But from the other side, you couldn't read it. It just looked like symbols. So I remember this guy delivering some stuff, and he comes and he's looking like, oh, this guy's about to discover the cure to cancer. What's going on here? And I was just writing my book.
James, I've never said this before. James, we're running short on time.
Yeah.
We're running short on time. James, in a few words of your own, can you tell us about this one, James?
So this is 1,000 Hills. You can find it at no good bookshops because it's been out of print for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
but we are working on a re-release. This was written by me and with help from my friend Noel Zihabamwe, who was a survivor of the genocide in Rwanda.
Okay.
And
Can
so,
we just, screw this time schedule. Can we just screw this time schedule for a second? Because this blows my mind. So tell me if I've got this wrong.
go on.
So James wrote a book looking at the Rwandan genocide through the eyes of an 8-year-old girl.
Boy.
Okay. Doesn't matter these days.
Yeah. Sure.
Anyway, so 8-year-old boy.
Yeah.
Now, that's not a children's book, mate, but it is.
It is a children's book. Yeah, it's a young adult book.
Yeah. That's heavy.
It is pretty heavy. Yeah, it took me a couple of years. But the reason it needed to be told was because Noel had his story, and it was interesting writing it because I needed to keep the life of this kid quite similar to the life of any kid reading it, because I didn't want them to find a point of difference to go, this would never happen to me. So that's why Pascal, this kid, his parents have fights. His mum gets a bit cranky occasionally. His sister's spoilt. His brother bullies him. He's got a crush on his teacher. he doesn't go to bed when he's told. All this stuff that happens is all very relatable to hopefully any kid reading this in, Katoomba. They can read it and go, because what I want those kids to do who are reading it, I want them to process the fact that if they were to come home one afternoon and find their family all gone, their parents missing, and their goat with its throat cut in the corner, true story, that they would go, well, that's not right, that shouldn't happen, rather than go, it's just some kid in Africa. So it was really important in that process to get that story relatable. It's a word we all use all the time, but to make it relatable so that kids would read it and go, how did that come about? How could 800,000 Rwandans be killed by other Rwandans? And could that happen here? Newsflash. Fuck yeah, it could.
And I think that's really, that's really important because us as humans, we're funny little animals, and the one thing we are really, really good at is making it about us and them.
Yeah, exactly right.
And our capacity to make them, just we don't have to think about them, care about them, is just,
Well,
next
the
level. So
Tootsies
the
were
fact
called-
that you made it that, so you can't do that. You can't us and them it if you've got so many things that are the same. You
It
can't,
sort of
you can't,
highlights
your
the
mind can't
yeah,
us and them
stupidity of it, yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, because the Hutus called the Tutsis cockroaches, and that became what they were known as. They were known as cockroaches until the people would just go, and this was over years, they got to the point where they'd go, check out those filthy cockroaches over there. And once you reach that point where you dehumanise an entire group of
You can
people,
exterminate them without.
you're back in 1935 Germany.
Yeah.
That's
James, that's
our
a
time.
that's a no. I think that's a fantastic place to stop. Oh yeah, okay, righto, okay. Hey, Talina, I think Joanne got some beautiful flowers for our guest. I hope this doesn't make you feel awkward, mate. You know.
They're beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mate, thanks very much.
Thanks for listening, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
James, big. Oh yeah, okay. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen any of Carlo, the Andalusian stallion, on our Instagram feed. You know, usually behaving badly, but he wanted a job, and so we gave him a job as a roving reporter. And so here's a little vignette that we're going to run of him at a local bookshop, the Turning Page bookshop down in Springwood, who were good enough to tolerate the madness that is Carlo trying to do an interview. So I think the suspension of belief contract is that I can hear what Carlo's a timber horse, and I can hear what he's saying, but no one else can. And so I have to translate. Yeah, yeah. Kids get it better than adults, but so he is doing the roving reporting down at the Turning Page bookshop, and also he's a little bit lazy and doesn't want to do his job. So we'll just cut to that, and that means that you guys can make noise. You can have a bathroom break. You can go and see Talina, get a glass of wine or a beer or something like that. And we'll be back just on the other side of the thing. Is that good? Yeah. Hey guys, so here we are down at Springwood. Carlo's feeling better now after his traumatic car ride. We're here at, it's probably backwards because of the thingo, but we're here at the Turning Page bookshop in Springwood. Look at these fantastic books. Everything's happening down here in Yeah? Yeah, we're going to go in. I'm just doing the Yeah, it's your show, mate, but like... Hey, mate, how are you? Yeah, good. We're just going to the Turning... This is Matt. Hey, guys. Turning Page Bookshop at Rocks. We're doing an interview in here.
Okay.
Yeah, and we just thought we'd check out Spring... Yeah, it's still your show, mate. I know. We're just talking, saying g'day. Anyway, we better get in and do a interview. Yeah, right, mate. See ya. Okay, so we're going in here to the Turning Page, and we're going to see what fantastic books and stuff they have inside here. And here we go. Oh, hello. How are you?
Good, how are you? Welcome
thanks.
to Turning Page. What
Oh.
can I help you with today?
Carlo is keen to look around the bookshop,
Absolutely.
and he's not a real big reader.
It's okay.
Yeah. No, I'm not making a fuss about it, mate, but it's true. Yeah, I know you can read, but anyway, so he's not a real big reader. Oh, hey guys, how are you? Do you want to squeeze past? Sorry about that.
It's okay, thank you.
So he's not a super big reader, Sarah, but and we thought you might have something for him more that he can look at the pictures. Yeah, sure, mate. Geez, a busy bookshop, isn't it? Heaps of people getting great books. Yes. Okay.
For sure, Carlos.
Yeah.
Carlo, we can help you out.
Okay. And so we thought, what do you mean? Oh, I don't know what that's about. Oh, here we go. What's this? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, Indigenous Literacy Foundation. That's a good mob to support. We'll put a link on that in the thingo in the website. These guys are big supporters of the Indigenous Literacy Foundation, and we'll put a link on the thing, and you guys at home can click on something and help them out as there as well. And yeah, why don't you ask? I'll ask Sarah. Righto. Have you guys got like a Indigenous literacy section?
We sure do. I'll show
Oh,
you.
here we go. Look at that. Let's go and have a little. Let's go. Okay, here we are. Look at all these beautiful books. Yeah, here we go. Fantastic. Oh. Okay.
So we have a section of books for children
look at
by
this.
Indigenous authors on topics promoting Indigenous literacy,
Wow. That is so cool.
including books
Oh my
that
God.
keep the languages alive.
Oh, that's important. That's important. That's really important. What's that colour? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, righto. What do you mean? Hold on. They might. He wants to know if you've got books that have got horses in them.
I think we can help.
Okay, let's have a look here, mate. Yeah. You're supposed to be asking stuff about the bookshop, not just all that you want. Yeah, but you're doing a job. I told you about this, mate. You're supposed to be the roving reporter, not just getting the books. All right, we'll do a bit towards the end. We'll have a look at see if they've got some books here. Oh, mate, look at that. Animal helpers. What do you reckon, mate? Has it got pictures in it? He says it's got pictures.
Of course, yes.
Oh, that looks good, doesn't it?
Pictures. Lots of different animals. Let me find the horse.
Oh, hold on, there might be a horse. Yeah. Oh, now, Carl, don't go getting like that about camels. Camels are valuable as well. Okay, they're not going to take the grass from the horse. Oh, look. Oh, that's... What do you reckon, mate? That's good, isn't it? Hey? He says he likes... Oh, hold on. He says he doesn't think much about that saddle. But, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It looks like it's helping in... Yeah, I know, yeah. He's saying he could help in rescue as well.
I'm sure you could.
You could, mate. You could, but at the moment, you could help by doing an interesting. You could help by doing an interesting interview about the shop, mate. What do you mean unicorns? What do you mean Oh, there. Hold on. We've spied something else. I think this interview is getting a lot about what Carlo likes, and maybe not quite enough. But oh, look at that.
Like unicorns?
That is so cool.
We have a lot of unicorn fans around here too.
Yeah.
And horse fans, of course.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah, he likes that. He doesn't mind unicorns. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that'd be good. So people at home could... So it'd be a good thing to come in for the younger ones. They could get stories about unicorns and dingers and how to... Yeah, okay. That's really nice. And what... Okay, we're going to do one more thing that you want, and then we're going to ask about the shop, okay? Sarah... He's wondering if there's anything that you've got like that would help people to sort of represent horses in a better way.
I think so. Look.
Oh my God, look at that. Oh, how to draw horses in simple steps, mate.
And look.
What do you mean I could learn from that, mate? That's not very nice. I did a nice drawing of you the other day. I was being kind, mate. Anyway, okay. Oh, look at that. Isn't that cute? Look at that. That is fantastic. Guys, Carla, can you just please ask one question about the shop? Okay. All right, Carla was wondering that, like, have you got... Carla, he says he's asking for a friend. Mm-hmm. That some people, maybe aren't... Yeah, some people maybe aren't that flash at the reading. And they maybe enjoy pictures more, but they like the feeling of reading, of having a book in. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah. I'm saying, I know it's not you, it's for a friend. I told her that, mate. Okay. So, asking for a friend, one of Carlo's friends, doesn't feel super confident about reading, Sarah.
That's okay.
Okay, and
That's
maybe
totally
you might
fine.
have something that sort of like has a little bit more pictures.
Absolutely. We have lots of picture books.
Oh.
We also have graphic novels, which have
What's that?
a bit
What's
more
that?
story to them,
Okay.
but they also have lots of pictures in them, so you
Okay.
can follow along
Do you want
with the pictures.
to? Yeah, he wants to have a look. Is that all
I'll
right?
show you exactly.
It's over here. Okay, graphic novel. So these guys got everything. They've got an Indigenous section. They're raising funds for Indigenous literature. They've got horse books. They've got graphic novels. Can we have a look inside that? Well, look at that. Wings of Fire.
Yeah.
To the kids,
So
look at that.
this-
Oh, what do you reckon, mate? He's actually a bit impressed. Normally he gets a bit upset about other animals that aren't horses.
Ah, I see. And what's great about these is that this is also a novel series. But some people prefer to read the graphic novels, and some people prefer to read the regular novels. And both are good because both are reading.
Hold on, mate. Oh no, don't tell me hold on. It looks like Carlo's so into this book. I think the interview's I'm going to have to take over from here. Carlo's absolutely stuck on this book. Yep. Well, I think this has been a huge success here at the Turning Page Bookshop. Carlo, can you just take a couple of seconds to thank Sarah? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Absolute pleasure. People at home, if you're passing through the Blue Mountains, we've got tons of great bookshops. If you're down here in Springwood, grab a book for your young person, take them next door to Finn and Co or one of the cafes and sit down and just spend some time together and just hang out and read. And it's a real good way to connect with people. And these guys are fantastic, how they just provide this amazing service to our community. So get behind them, support them. Have a look on the bottom, all their socials and their ways to contact them or do orders or phone and stuff like that will be there and yeah, help them out. All right. Okay. Righto, Carlos, what's going to be your sign off? Giddy up. Okay. Giddy up. See you guys.
To the show. Thanks for being so patient with Carlo's work down there at the Turning Page Bookshop. Thanks very much for the bookshop for putting up with all of our antics. And I'd like to ask you all in the room to give Sharma. I knew it would happen. I was great until here.
Do you want me to
Yeah,
introduce myself?
please introduce yourself.
I can't introduce myself and
No.
ask everyone to give me a warm hand.
Okay,
That's really
can
weird.
you please?
Hi, everyone.
This is Charmaine
Lewis.
Ledden Lewis. I got it. I was there. And please, a warm welcome. Like more than that, she had to introduce herself. Come on, seriously. Seriously. Oh my God. Okay. I'm so glad that you guys sort of helped to lift the tone after I muffed it so badly.
I love that you've said my name about 10 times.
I was practicing.
Except when I'm sitting right here.
I know.
Just Shams.
Shams.
Yeah.
Okay, Shams. Okay.
That's
Now
easy, you can say that.
I can say that. Shams, tell me about. Okay, I'm just practicing. Okay, we've got this good. Okay. Anyway, so yes, thanks very much for the warm welcome for Shams. Mel, do we have little bits of stuff? Are you ready there? Okay, yeah, I thought you were. I just was double checking. I wanted to create the illusion that I knew what was going on. Yeah, that's new, isn't it, right? Shams, look, I know this sounds like a recycled question, but it's something that so I'm just trying to imagine, like, you as a little kid, and like, so where did you, just for the people in the room and the people out, out all over the world, really, all over the world, huge international audience. G'day. Hello, Stockholm. Yes. So for this huge international audience, can you paint a picture of your early life?
My early life. Good question. Really good question, because my early life, hello Stockholm, was growing up in Sydney on Gadigal country. I was a tiny little black fella who grew up in Sydney. I didn't know what it meant to be a black fella because there weren't many black fellas around me.
Okay. So people like, what sort of suburb are we talking?
Bexley.
Bexley.
Does
wow.
anyone know Bexley?
I know Bexley. Yes.
Bexley. Oh, good.
Yes,
I grew up
yes.
in Bexley.
Yes, we
Bexley.
know Bexley. My Auntie Anne and Uncle Barry lived in Bexley.
Ah,
In Westbourne Avenue, I think it was called.
I was little. I knew my street. I knew
Yeah.
Bayview Street, and I knew nothing else.
Yeah. Wow.
I knew Herbert Street. I knew Judd Street because that's where my friends lived.
Are we
Hi.
talking? Are we talking like those brown sort of bricks with rounded edges?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
I think mine was my place was more of like a white rendered rental place that was owned by a nun. There was like a massive church pew in the house. Reminds me of this place a little bit in the decor. Yeah. But yeah, it was a cool little place in Sydney. My mum and I, and then my
Yeah.
stepdad and I, and then my sister and stepdad and I, and mum, and yeah.
And you sort of mentioned that you didn't know what it was like to be a black fella there. So was your extended family close by, or were you guys by yourselves, or?
Well, I think I say that because, like, with the Stolen Generation, let's go heavy. Let's
Yeah,
go. Let's just dive in because we've got 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So there was my mum and I, and you know, my heritage comes from matriarchal lineage. We're Bundjalung.
Ah,
Do you want to try saying that?
I know. So I spent a lot of time in Tabulum.
Oh, deadly.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
Okay. Deadly.
And, so I've got a few mates up there,
Okay.
walkers, and
We're walkers.
no way.
We're walkers. Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy Avery, those guys. Yeah. Anyway, you know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, Walkers is a big mob in Bundjalung country, but
Yeah,
we
yeah.
come from Walkers. But with the Stolen Generation, we haven't. You know, there was the breaking of connection and breaking of
Yeah.
you know, connection to country, and
Yeah.
so growing up in Sydney as a little black fella, I didn't know what it meant to be Aboriginal.
Yeah.
And I think for me, my mum gave me a book when I was about 6 years old, and it was called, it was My Place,
Yeah.
and it was by Nadia Wheatley, and it was illustrated by Donna Rawlins, and that book changed my understanding of self
Yeah.
because there was an urban illustrative story in that book,
Yeah.
and there was an Aboriginal flag on the cover.
Yeah. Wow.
It was tiny, but it was little.
Yeah.
And suddenly I saw myself in that book. And I
Yeah.
went, I can understand myself a little bit better.
Yeah. Wow.
I think there's some black fellas in the room too. There's a couple. I hope that, you had those experiences as well. Is there any other black fellas in the room? No. Okay, well, this is what it's like to feel like the one and only,
Yeah.
and going, where do I belong? How do I see myself in the world?
Yeah.
And I think that, forming that sense of identity at such a young age, we all do it, we're all subconscious to it,
Yeah.
but books help us do that
Yeah.
in such a magnificent way, in such an intimate way, because when you're looking at a book, it's you and the book, or it might be you and a person that you love sharing a book with you.
Yeah.
And so,
And you see the person as a version of you, like a.
absolutely. And, it's a comforting sense of, I belong in this space, I belong in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid reading. I was terrible at reading
Okay.
when I was a kid, and it was always hard work and never enjoyable. And school was a pain, and just never, you can't win it. Yeah. And I remember reading this book, and it was a story about. I get two confused. One was Sophie, who was a strong diver, and another one was a book that happened much younger. And this girl had a snorkel on, and she was swimming along the surface of a pond. And while I was reading this, I was really reading individual words and trying to sound them out. And then she dived under the water and instantly as she dived under the water, I could read. And I didn't see individual words anymore. I was just in the story.
That's beautiful.
And so I don't know what happened in my mind or something like that, but it just changed and I was in it. So I can imagine that for you as a young person, having a whole lot of stuff in your head, but not knowing all the answers, and then all of a sudden having a book that just makes sense or just changes how you feel or something like that.
Completely. But I think, do you know what? There's something that you mentioned there about diving under the water, and I think, I'm an illustrator. I don't use words to share story. I use artwork to share story, and I think there's something really powerful with that. For me personally, not having a go at any authors in the room or anything, but illustration, in my opinion, transcends language. It's a language unto itself, and it doesn't matter what language you speak, what language you read, whether you can read or not, whether you struggle with reading or not, but the art of storytelling through visual literature, in my opinion, is it's transcending. It makes storytelling accessible. I know you mentioned before about my culture, and we don't have written language, we don't have alphabets, but we have visuals, we have songlines, we have language certainly, but our visual storytelling. I think that there's something in me, in every artist. Whether you're a black fella or not, but with every artist, you're telling a story with imagery. That expression, a picture tells 1,000 words.
Yeah.
It's a cliche, but cliches are based on truth.
Because
And so what you're describing to me as an illustrator says that you had a transcending moment where suddenly you connected with a story and you were engaged.
Yeah.
And that's the power of illustration, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My humble opinion.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So do you find that, I'm just sort of thinking, do you find that, I don't know how the book business works. But
I don't know that any of us do. We're figuring it out on the go, right?
Right, yeah. So do you find that, a story comes to you in a written format and you read it, or someone says, hey, I'm doing this story, I'd really like you to do the drawings for it or something, or the images for it. Here we go. Here's an example.
Oh.
Look at this. Here's an
here's an
example of a...
Do you want me to do this? Like a 6-year-old?
Oh, look at that and see. I hate to go on about how great the show's getting, but did you see it just come up on the screen effortless? I didn't even have to say to Rian, I just went like that. Even if I didn't go like that, it would have happened. I just, you got to back yourself. So what I just straight away when I see this, just the fact that you're looking down from above makes you feel something different than if exactly the same image, but you were seeing it from a different height.
Thanks.
So there must be, so I'm guessing that when people come with a story, and James, there must be sort of something happen where you go, the story's this, but it would even be like accenting, like how in speech you sort of accent a different word or a different tone or something to draw attention to one part of the sentence. I'm guessing that your choices in your illustration to the reader, especially to a young reader, the story's going a certain direction, and then just the fact that you've chosen to these colours and the way the layout is with this central character being there, and that it's thing like that. So it must be such a powerful part of storytelling.
Completely,
And how does it sometimes just click when you're working with a story? Does it sometimes what you think the story needs is not what someone else
absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you know what? So this was the first book that I illustrated. Actually, the first book I illustrated was when I was 4, and that was cool privilege. But this was what started my adult illustration career,
Wow.
and it was the Keston Award winner, and I got to work with Bruce Pascoe. And Bruce Pascoe is one of those, really incredible authors that, in my opinion, leaves so much space in his words for you to explore. And so as an artist, it's powerful. It's really magical to go, well, where do I want to take these words?
Yeah.
What story do I want to imbue of my own? It's a really beautiful relationship, I think, because you're working with somebody else's words, and you have the honor to step into that space and bring something of yourself as well.
Yeah.
So this book is about cows getting separated, but it's also about the stolen generations. It's about my family. And it's also, in fact, it's something that Toby said to me a couple of years ago. And I'm going to do a really terrible job of it, but it was magical because we were talking about, how do you choose a book? How do you choose a book to illustrate? Which one do you choose versus which one do you not? And Toby said that, jump in, Toby, if you want to. But it was, what books, push on humanity, improve humanity. How do we get better? Because I think every book has that opportunity to do that. And, there's books about farts and poo and stuff like that as well. Me personally, I love that there's this magical opportunity to create something that is perhaps going to, play a small role in making the world a better place. I think that's the power of literature as well, because when we're so little, we aren't, I'm sorry, I'm going to put that down. We aren't thinking about, race, and we're not thinking about cockroaches and, shit like that. We're kids.
Yeah.
We're kids, and we're making friends with the other kid in the classroom or on the playground or that. All of that racism and shit is taught.
Yeah.
And so if we can, this is a really passive-aggressive aspect of me, but if we can challenge that before it, locks in, then that's the power of books. That's the power of literature.
It's not a stretch to imagine, like for me, it's not a stretch to imagine that you don't know who in the world as a 5-year-old is going to hack life and work out how to create huge amounts of influence in our society and have the wheel.
Exactly, and have those roots to draw back on.
Yeah.
I would argue that everyone in the room can remember a book that affected them in their childhood and made them question something that was bigger than themselves.
Yeah.
Well, we're sitting at the driver's seat when we're making books.
Yeah.
We're sitting there going, well, how do we want to steer this course?
Yeah.
We have an opportunity to have a hand on the wheel
Yeah.
and help it go in a good place.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
So-
Beautiful.
Oh, you don't need to applaud me that. Something I would also like to share is I actually thought you were going to go with, so what is it that's on the cover? Because when you're a children's book illustrator, you have to have a really thick skin. And I don't know how many kids have said, I like your book about a dog, or I like your book about a deer or a fox, or I'm like, it's a cow.
Yeah. I'm in denial about. I'm in total denial that I need glasses. Like, my body's telling me I need glasses, but I refuse. I'm desperately holding on to my youth, and
So you just saw Orange Blob, didn't you?
I saw the animal, but I didn't see it with enough clarity to work out what it is.
That's okay. That's good.
Okay. So you're a young person. You're growing up. And at 4, you illustrated your first book, and you recognised that books can help to complete you, to fill in the parts of yourself that maybe aren't available in your immediate sphere of family. Takes a village,
Absolutely.
And then you got the opportunity to write. And
Not yet,
to illustrate, and this is amazing. And so I'm going to muff these numbers, but in an education system that is predominantly text dominant, for a society that is predominantly not text dominant, illustration is such a powerful tool. Like having books with pictures that, because otherwise, you know, I don't know, half or 30% of the kids, everyone's looking at the same book,
Yeah.
but only, I'm going to say, 28.5%.
Where'd you pull that number out?
Yeah, I just did it sort of Chris Bowen style. I don't know. Sorry, let's not get political.
Go for it.
But I don't even know if that's his name. But I kind of heard it on telly, so you know. And so just like we're all looking at exactly the same thing in front of us, and just naturally a huge percentage of us are going to be real what's it feel like, they're real kinetic learners, and a huge percentage are going to be looking at the illustration, and another percentage are going to be looking at the text. So just sort of the fact that books actually have illustration in them just means that and I think Amy's nodding here because Amy's just all over this. I think I want to sort of like get this right, and I'm probably going to muff it again, but I think Amy's PhD is on the value of creating or graphic novels or cartooning or something like that. And
Nice.
do you want to? As a visual language, yes.
Nice.
And so, Amy, you'd be able to point to peer-reviewed studies that support the very assertions we're making here
Nodding and
tonight,
agreeing.
aren't we? I'm thinking Wells, Peabody and Wells et al., 1989, Stanford. That just springs to mind. But don't quote me on that. Sorry, 87, yes. So the looking at the whole landscape of kids, reading kid lit.
Kid lit, yep.
Yeah,
Don't mispronounce that.
No, that could go wrong, couldn't it? Yeah. I'm always in trouble just being myself, but anyway.
That's a shit thing.
So this is fantastic with illustrations and text. It feels like it's a more whole offering when you've got engaging illustrations.
Do you know what I think I love? And Amy might jump in and agree with me on this one, perhaps. But when we're babies, if before we have language, babies are taking in the world. If they've got sight, babies are taking in everything.
Yeah.
First and foremost, it's visual, and the visual world around them, expression, facial expression, what they're nearest and dearest to communicating with them.
Yeah.
They're creating a safe environment, or perhaps they're not.
Yeah.
And so we are intrinsically visual people if we have that ability. And so to me, that's fascinating because somewhere along the way, I think we lose sight of the importance of that, the power of that.
Yeah.
And I think, I talk to kids, high school kids, or, when I think about advertising, for instance, and marketing, we are so vulnerable. We forget about how vulnerable we are to everything that we are taking in visually in the world.
Yeah.
My son today was in Rebel going, I want Nike this and Nike that. And I was like, oh, man, why? Why is it different? That it's got a little swoosh thing on it. It's a T-shirt, but it's this stuff. It's this stuff that the world feeds us that for some reason this little swoosh thing is more important than this T-shirt over here. But really, it's just a T-shirt. It's cloth on your back, and so I think we're vulnerable, and I think that personally, as an illustrator, I think that if we can challenge that strength, you exercise that muscle, make people more aware of how vulnerable we are in terms of what we're consuming visually, what's coming into us, we might be a little bit more aware, to certain shit that we're seeing online and we're scrolling and, all of that. Sorry, it's a bigger conversation than the... How many more minutes do we have? Are we keeping time?
Yeah. Okay. Charlie's Swim.
Charlie's Swim.
Yeah. I don't even know what to say because I was just on that other one and engaged in that thing. But Charlie's Swim.
We can go there if you want.
Yeah, I'm liking it because I like swimming and I love the ocean and it's healing and stuff like that. So in just a few words of your own.
I don't have a few words. I'll try my best.
Try it. Yeah. So how did this project come about, or how did it come? How did it come to you?
How did it come to me? The same way as, sorry, you want me to hold this up, don't you, James? Okay. Same way that it usually comes to me. A publisher contacts me and says, we'd like you to illustrate a book. And I go, really? That's awesome. This project came to me, and it was a true story, and it was a true story about a black fella who lived in Broome, in Rubibi. And I think given the opportunity to create books that involve truth-telling is a really special opportunity. So
he's in Broome. What time period are we talking?
this is World War II. And it was a really beautiful discovery because I had no idea that Broome was affected by World War II. It was bombed. It was bombed before Darwin. And this book came out on the anniversary of that bombing. 800 to 1,000 people died in Roebuck Bay. But this guy, Charles, Charles d'Antoine, Charlie, who is the uncle of the author, Auntie Edith Wright, who was the chairperson of Magabala Books. Magabala Books, incredible, deadly black publisher. Edith liked my style. She said, Broome very much needs to be a character of the story. I'm a very colourful person. I love using lots of vibrant colour. And if anyone's been to Broome, to Rubibi, it's a really vibrant, really colourful space. So I really enjoy the exploration and the learning myself. I think if you get an opportunity to read a manuscript and learn something more about the world that you didn't, it's really special. You said a few words. So this book, it was a deep dive into a true story about a black fella in World War II that was not celebrated in Australia. So he rescued a couple of people in Roebuck Bay. Instead of swimming and saving his own life when it was bombed, because he was out there refueling seaplanes, he stopped, he turned around and he saw a Dutch woman and her child drowning in the water. This is croc-infested waters. These are shark-infested waters. He turned around, he gestured to her, get on my back, and he swam to shore with them on his back. The Australian government did not recognise his heroicism, and in fact, in the deep dive into the research for this book, because illustrators, we research a lot, don't we? There was one newspaper clipping that said, Charles d'Antoine, he was almost as brave as a white man. And that's the right reaction, and that's why we make books like this, because then we can talk about them and we don't have that shit anymore.
I think that's
that's it. That's time.
But I think that's a really good. I like let that pony think. You know, if you ever spend time around horses and stuff and you get it right, stop. And so I think that's a really good time to stop and just let that
Pass the mic.
Let that moment hang.
Okay.
You know, just that moment hang, and that statement about he was almost as brave as a white man. I think we can stop right there. I think that's a good place. Yeah.
Thank you.
Please put your hands together. Charmaine Ledden Lewis. Thank you so much for being so supportive.
Did really good, thank you.
Thanks so much for blessing us here with your stories. And we can go. Oh, here we go. My wife Joanne got these for you. And Joanne did it, but you know, she wanted. My wife Joanne, she wanted you to have it. And thanks so much, Charmaine. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. We can go to, I believe trivia. Oh my golly, you guys have got a rare treat. You have to stay here. Charmaine, you have to stay in here because trivia, this is a lightning version of trivia. Hold on, there we go, 1, 2, 3. So you guys will have to share microphones.
Sorry, folks. Just this is beyond what the program says, but we have here a copy of Falling Forward by Margaret Hamilton. We mentioned earlier. Margaret, Max, and Mel. That was Margaret's autobiography that was published, and she got to see a copy of this just before she passed away, which she was very in there. Available in, I think if you go to westwords.com.au, I think you can probably buy it online. It's a terrific book about
or at a local
or at a local cafe.
bookshop.
Oh, or a local bookshop like Turning Page. Yeah, exactly right. There you go.
All right, Dave, you get down.
Let me get out of here, Tony, please.
Can I get James in the middle, please? On the back seat, and then Toby and Charmaine either side. Okay. No, that's yours. Yep. All right. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm going to do a quick lightning trivia. It's lightning for a few reasons. It's only 10 questions, and I'm wearing lightning earrings. That's about it, really. So, you've got some toys here. These are your buzzers. You can test them out. Right? James, you've used this before. You know how to do that. It's about being fast with the answers, right? So jump in as quickly as you can. When you do squeak the toy, I'll point to you, use the microphone for your answers so that everyone at home can hear and they can play along.
Can I just say waka waka instead of doing this?
No, you can do both. You can do both, thanks, James. We've also got some prizes tonight. So you will be playing for people in the audience here. So Toby, you are going to be playing for Eastie. We've got Eastie in the house. James, you're going to be playing for Cheryl.
Waka waka waka.
Thank you. And Charmaine, you're going to be playing for Jodie. These have been picked at random. So we've got some great prizes tonight. Donated by Max Hamilton. Thank you very much. These are some T-shirts that were created by the Children's Book Council, and they have illustrators on them, children's book illustrators. So they'll be the prizes. Let's see how we go. So, are we ready?
Yes.
Waka waka.
Yep, everything works. Let's get started. Now, this first question was in honour of Dave because it was his favourite children's book. Finish this sentence. I do not like green eggs and ham. Oh, yep. Yes, excellent. 1 point to Charmaine. Thank you, Mike. We've got Mike scoring tonight. I am a bear from deepest, darkest Peru. What is my name? James.
He likes marmalade sandwiches. His name is Paddington.
Excellent. Question number 3. Yeah, a quick clap for James. He's doing very well. So, Charmaine. Okay, the hippopotamus was eating what? Oh, Charmaine, use the microphone, please. Excellent. Kate, what's the answer? This book character has over 45 picture books and was inspired by a burrowing tree. What is it? Yes, Charmaine.
Sorry, I was waiting for the panel. It's Grug.
It's Grug, that's right. And if you notice tonight, I'm wearing a Grug t-shirt. Just represent Grug. Yay. This autobiography, written by Sally Morgan and published in Toby.
My Place.
My Place. Yes, excellent. Well done. Question 6. What is the standard length in pages of a... James.
32 pages.
That's right. The standard length in pages of a children's book is 32 pages.
I'm not even an illustrator.
I know.
None of my books have been 32 pages.
We need to talk.
This company published the winner of the Eve Pownall Award in the 2025 Children's Book Council of Australia Awards. What is the name of the publisher?
I'm going to have a guess that it's Magabala.
It is Magabala. Well done. Question 8. How many books are there in the John Marsden Tomorrow series? James.
4.
Incorrect. Toby.
5?
Incorrect.
Many.
No, all right. So let's go to multiple choice on this one because we need a little help. So A5, B7, C10, or D8?
How many did I finish?
Do we want to have a stab? Can we go to the audience? Does anyone in the audience know how many books are in the tomorrow? Did I hear a 7? It's 7. Well done. Well done. Dave got that one, so 1 point for Dave. Yep. What did the animals sink in this popular children?
A boat.
They did. Yes. Who Sank the Boat by Pamela Allen. Wow. So what did the animals sink? Straight. Yeah, it's good. Jeannie Baker is the author-illustrator of books such as Window, Belonging and Mirror. What is her primary art technique for... Yes, Charmaine. Gosh.
She's my favourite illustrator. It's collage.
It is collage. Well done.
Are these all going to be about picture books? What?
Sorry, James. Well, yes. Yeah, the last question is. But anyway, this picture book was written by John Marsden and illustrated by Sean Tan. What's the title?
The Rabbits.
The Rabbits is correct. That's lightning trivia. Let's see how we went. Mike, do you have a total for us? Oh, the Charmaine. Charmaine's our winner tonight. Well done, Charmaine. And you were playing for Jodie. Congratulations, Jodie. But this T-shirt's coming for everyone because that's how we roll. So thank you very much, and I'll hand back over to Dave. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Chicken, thank you. Waka waka.
Guys, thanks for being so patient. So we're going to go to a break at the moment, so everyone in the room can have a little bit of a toilet break and grab a beer, and the people at home gets to watch, get to see Carlo down at the Story Garden Bookshop in Lawson, and they've opened recently, and the Story Garden Bookshop is a new local bookshop that is specifically a children's bookshop. So you can check that story out. The people at home get to see that. And so we're going to have a drink. All right, see when we get back. Hey guys, here we are in beautiful Lawson in the Blue Mountains. Look at that, what a gorgeous town this is. And Lawson's got a great community to it, and it's pretty laid back. It's not quite as hustle and bustle as Lura and stuff like that, but it's got a nice thing. I'm here with Carlo. Carlo, mate. No, we're not staying on the truck, mate. We've got to go and do some work. We talked about this. Yeah, okay. Look, just say hello to the people at home, will you? Okay, all right. So we're here because we heard a little bit. Yeah, after we've finished, yeah, then we'll go get something to eat. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but you got to do the work first, mate. Okay. So Carlo's here. So the reason that we're here is that we heard a rumor about a new bookshop, and it's the whole shop is for children's literature, and so we thought we might just poke our head in. I think they're open. It looks like there's some people inside there doing stuff. So I thought we might. Yeah. It's your job, mate. We went through the questions. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're going, mate. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, so we're going to go in and say hello. Let's see what's there. Come on, mate, let's go. Let's see. Oh, look at this. Story Garden open. Yeah. Yeah, it is good, isn't it? What do you mean you can... Oh, yeah, there's kids in there. Look at that. There's kids in there. Yeah. They look... Yeah, yeah, see, you're starting to enjoy it a bit now, aren't you? Okay, so anyway, this is, look, Story Garden. Yeah, I'll show you right here, mate. See? Story Garden open. Yeah, it's going to be fantastic, mate. You're going to be all right. Okay, let's go and see what... Well, I don't even know you're allowed inside. They might not let animals in. It might not be pet friendly. Let's wipe our feet, eh? Look, that's a nice little thing. I'll just knock. Hi, how are you? Are we okay to have animals in here?
I think horses are allowed. Probably today.
Probably today, just a special. So you're doing all right, mate? Because they could have said no. That would have ruined the interview, wouldn't it? Yeah, good. Yeah, they do seem nice, don't they? I thought so. All right, okay. So we heard that you guys have opened a new children's bookshop.
Yes.
Isn't it right? Let's have a look around. Wow.
Welcome.
So cool. Hello, how are you? Pretty good. Hello, how are you? So it turns out there's a bookshop and there's kids here getting books and reading books, which is a great thing. And Carl, we'll have a look at them. They've probably got books about horses. But let's remember what you're doing. You're working, mate. Do the job. Okay, ask a question. All right. Okay. Did you have a question?
Do you have a question you want to ask Carlo?
No, later on maybe. Yeah. It is a bit difficult getting to know him, and he can be a bit difficult to sort of thingo as well. But anyway, we'll see what happens. So I believe that you guys aren't just. I believe that you guys don't just have a bookshop, but you guys actually make books.
We sure do, yeah. We can show you some of our books. If you
Oh,
wanna come
here we go.
look
Let's have a look at this, mate. What have we got over here? Hello. Let's have a look. Do you know much about books as well? Little tiny bit?
Try to take a look at his feet, Annie.
Do you want to see how his legs are held together? Can you show him? Yeah, righto. Okay. Carlo had a bit of an accident and he nearly ripped his leg apart, so we had to hold it back together with cable ties. See there? It was pretty difficult. All right. Yeah, down the ground? Okay. All right. So, what's that? Yeah. But, okay. Carlo wants to know about, yeah, it's cool, isn't it? Carlo wants to know about books with horses in them, but that's all Carlo really wants to know about. And Carlo's just remembering that he's doing a job here today as a roving reporter. Yeah, okay. So do you remember the questions, mate, you were going to ask before? Oh, okay, I'll ask. Carlo was interested, are there any local authors, or is there a section of books to do with local Blue Mountains authors in the children's genre?
Oh, that's a great question, Carlo. We actually have a whole shelf here of books that are written and illustrated in the Blue Mountains.
No way.
So yeah, here's some. There's even a few here with animals in it.
Oh, no, they're not all horses, mate, but what's that? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Yeah, I think it's under the water. That's what its tail's out, mate. It's the penguin's on top and the whales. Yeah. Do you want me to ask? Okay. Carlo was hoping that somebody might show him what's inside that book with the penguin on the front.
Naomi? Your book. This is my book here, and it's a book about your imagination.
No way. What's that? Yeah, you've got an imagination, mate. Yeah, it's a good one too.
Some birds and some
Birds and
butterflies.
stuff like.
And on
What's
every
that?
page
Hold on.
there's a snail.
What's that? At the top. What's that one called? The page back before that. You said something about that. Oh, yeah. What are they?
Snails.
Yeah, Carlo actually doesn't like snails.
Oh.
No, it's all right. You don't have to. It's just a picture, mate. It's just a picture. What's that? He can. Yeah, he can swim. He just wanted me to let you know that he's a strong swimmer.
That's amazing.
And he can run very fast on beaches as well. Faster than what? faster than penguins. Yeah, he can run faster than penguins, he said, but he likes penguins. Carlo was hoping to know, like, did you always know that you were going to be an author?
I think I always wanted to be an author, and I've certainly wanted to be an illustrator because I've been doing art my entire life. And prior to doing these books, I was a bird artist. So I was around at all the markets in the Blue Mountains selling my artwork. And slowly I started building up a selection of poems for this book, which was my first book. And then I used my artworks of birds to illustrate that. And then I got the bug, and then I just wanted to create more and more and more after that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's that, mate? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yep. I know you, but you have to wait to the question. Yeah, you said, okay. Carlo's wondering if you have any feelings about maybe writing a book. Carlo's wondering if you thought that maybe in the future that you might write a book about a horse.
Well, that sounds like a fantastic idea.
Carlo, do you remember the next question, mate? Yeah, okay. Sharon?
Yes.
Carla's got a question for you.
Sure. What's your question, Carla?
Sharon, did you always know that you were going to be a bookshop owner?
No, it's not something that I had ever even necessarily thought that I would do. But once I started writing books and publishing books, I suppose it's a logical step.
Sorry. Yeah. Let it finish, mate. Yeah. Right. So what was it then, if you didn't know what it was that you were going to be a bookshop owner, what was it that made you think I want to do this?
So we had an opportunity after talking to Zach and Kath at Rosie Ravelston. They were looking to...
Who's Zach and Kath? Who's Zach and Kath?
So Zach and Kath are the owners of Rosie Ravelston Bookshop, which is our sister shop here, our neighbors. They've been in this space for, I think, about 3 years now. So we have picked up the torch and are doing just kids books here in our little shop. And it's been going fantastic. We've had a couple of great events already. We've got story time events coming up. So we've also got a beautiful garden space outside. And Carla, if you'd like, I can show you around.
Oh, mate. Do you want me to, yeah? Okay. Oh, let's go check out the garden. All right. We'll follow you. Okay. Hey, guys, you guys come into the garden. Can you explain a bit about it?
Do you want to just close it?
Yeah, close the door. That's a good idea.
Right.
It's dark.
A little rainy today, unfortunately.
My golly, look at this. See, mate, that's why it's called the Story Garden. Look at that. There's tables out here. And it's like a beautiful garden. It's like one of those fairy story gardens, isn't it? I know it's a big garden. Look at that. Wow.
We actually have a horse that might come and visit our story time as well. A local
nearby pony. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, mate. You might have a friend who's going to come along. Yeah. Yeah, of course he'd be faster. Oh, it's got like a little round section. I don't know if you can see this at home, guys, but look, it's got like a round section here that everyone can come and sit in. And a cubby house.
Naomi and I will be doing some story readings. We'll also be doing craft activities and sensory play with kids.
Wow.
So we do it weekly on Thursdays, and also next term we'll start it on the weekends for parents who don't normally get to come to story times during the week.
Because it's week. Okay, so did you hear that? Maybe we could have something maybe we could have a thing that would say when that is, or a way that you guys at home could click on something on the screen or something and go, you know what I mean, like a link or something like that. Yeah, or something. Maybe we could do that. Okay. What's that? Yep.
So we have some workshops starting up after school next term. Naomi's going to be teaching an illustration workshop, which will be a lot of fun.
So like kids could, like a lot of parents work and heaps, because they've got to feed everyone, and then... I'm watching Carla's interview at the Story Garden Bookshop. Please go down and support them. It's really important in this current environment we're in that the really big online international retailers do a great job of getting a whole heap of books out really, really fast. But if we don't have local bookshops and retailers in business, then all of the it doesn't go round. You know, if we have a local bookshop and you guys think about your kids and your grandkids and giving gifts to people and support a local bookshop, that local bookshop will then go down to the local cafe and they'll buy, that same dollar goes around about 11 times. So it's really, really important. If someone drops the ball and buys something off Temu, then it stops. You never get it back, and it just makes our community weaker. So it's really, really valuable to, when you can, to support local bookshops. And cafes and everything, you know. So, so we've just had a thing there. Carla's been, please support the local bookshops in the area. Please help the Story Garden. They've, like all young businesses, they've taken a punt and they've put themselves out there. And you know, the Carnegie Foundation didn't line up with $500,000 worth of seed capital to get them started. You know, they've had to do this all themselves. So please, if you're going to buy a gift for someone, consider supporting one of our local bookshops. Anyway, okay, so thanks very much for hanging around. Thanks very much for hanging around on the stream. Thanks very much for hanging around in the room. So next up, please welcome to the stage Mr. Toby Riddle, illustrator, artist, opening batsman, all-round gentleman, and beautiful. Thank you. How are you, mate? Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, likewise.
Sorry, I've got to use my mic.
Oh, yeah. We've got to remember that. Yeah. Last time every time Toby and I get together, which is not often, I'm always trying to I'm a little bit like Kerry Packer. Remember the traditional cricket, and then Kerry Packer said, let's do day-night cricket, and everyone hated him, but he was a visionary. He was a visionary, people. Visionary. And so, not unlike Kerry Packer, I'm trying to push the Ben Chifley Memorial Street Cricket Club out the front here. One bounce, one hand, one bounce, you're out. If you're on the highway, if you hit onto the highway, doesn't matter who your mum is, you're out for the season. Don't cross. No, I saw that disbelief then. No, doesn't matter who your mum is. If you hit on the highway, if you make the cops turn up, and the game gets ruined, you're out for the season. That's the only hard and fast rule. And the one hand, one bounce, and it's a tennis ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. That's abomination of nature. It can't be done. So anyway, so a lot of the time when Toby and I do get to chat, it's not. Yeah, back to books. It's not about. This is what they call a long lead into a payoff. That's gonna. I was trying to. Thanks. You know. So normally I'm talking to Toby about that, but tonight it's a blessing that we've got a structured conversation around the subject of books and illustration. And the reason that's good is it just happens that as well as an excellent cricket player, all-rounder, Toby is also quite a spectacular and accomplished artist and book illustrator.
Apparently.
And author. Yeah, so you've you've gone to the dark side then.
With James. Yeah.
How does cricket influence your art?
Well, do you know what? It does.
Of course it does.
Well,
Of course it does.
for people who don't know too much about cricket, I'll make this very quick, but Test cricket sometimes a batsman has to come out and bat all day to save the game.
Yeah.
And they've got all these people against them, and they've got to concentrate for hours and hours.
I see where you're going. This is a
Yeah,
metaphor.
and
This is a
sometimes I
metaphor.
have to start a day where I think this is going to be a long day, but I remember that some opener, like I can't give a name now.
What about Greg Chappell?
Not an opener, but
Oh,
but,
but he held the team together.
yeah. But look, but
Okay,
then I think of
sorry.
some guy. That's all right.
No, you're better at
That's right,
metaphors
'cause-
than me, mate. I just like. Sorry, go with the metaphor you had. Who you thinking? Kim Hughes?
Well, actually, I do remember a New Zealand cricketer called Mark Greatbatch, and this is getting way off topic.
Yeah, it's
he
all right.
He batted for nearly 2 days, I think, in Australia to save a game. And so, if that's what a human can do with concentration, then I just need to knuckle down and play through to lunch, then into the tea, and then into the evening, and keep concentrating and get through that day. Because some days are a real grind, other days are fun, whatever. So
Yeah.
to answer your question, that's
So there is a link. There is a link. See, you thought I was mad, didn't you? You thought I was mad. What am I doing drawing cricket? And this is literary
that's-
conversation.
everything's linked.
Yeah. It's
All
like a
your
butterfly.
interests all go into your work.
Yeah,
yeah. So you don't waste anything.
Yeah. Wow. And did you always have a passion for? Were you just the kid that didn't pay attention in class and loved drawing and just never stopped, or did you have the blessing to be in a school that rewarded illustration or pursuits of art, or you could tell me what actually happened rather than help me out here, Toby.
Well, it's funny. It's a bit of both. I actually went to a Steiner school in primary school, and so there was a lot of emphasis on illustration. But then I did just focus on that and.
What, local choral or something? Or
No, back in Sydney.
Yeah.
And then I'd talk a lot, and I got sent out a lot. So there was a sort of
We've got that in
mixed
common, mate.
messages around this sort of thing. And
Absolute freedom until it's
Yeah,
not.
and in fact, I was just telling someone my school report one year. This is about knitting, but that I was a good knitter, but I was such a chatterbox that I didn't finish my socks that term. So I think I wasn't that. I had trouble focusing on things that I wasn't interested in.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
I still got it. Look at all these bloody half-finished projects and motorbikes here.
yeah.
Never changed.
It seems natural, but it's not always helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I experienced that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've rallied. So what I'm seeing from these few short questions is that your natural tendency is just to go with the flow and what you're interested in.
Yeah.
But you've managed to wrangle yourself in and you've taught yourself discipline like an opening batsman that's saving the team. that just sticks at the task.
I have to resort to thinking about opening batsmen if there are days that I'm not really interested in having to. There's a part that's not that interesting, but do you know? Otherwise, my work is nearly always something. I just try to turn an interest into a book, and then I'm really excited about it, and then. And this is amazing. You actually don't need much discipline because you just want to do it.
Yeah, that's what.
And so
that's
you
what
get
I've
out
got
of
here.
bed.
That's what I do here. I just do what I want.
Yeah.
And
So, and people say you must be so disciplined, and I'm not really, but if I'm just so excited about this thing I'm working on that I just want to get up in the morning and do it. So, yeah,
Oh, right, that's amazing.
it is. It's
a blessing.
it's a discovery.
Yeah, you wouldn't think it'd be possible to, like, if you went to a careers advisor at school and they said, oh, what do you want to do? And you described what you do. Imagine you just went back in time and you spoke to. We had some interesting I had conversations, and if I had told them I want to do this, and if you had told them you want to do what you do, what do you reckon the chances are they'd say that's a great plan?
Yeah. The chances aren't great.
Yeah, not great.
No.
But somehow you've been able to fashion it you've been able
Somehow.
to, somehow you've been able to sort of wrangle it
Yeah.
into something that you enjoy doing and
Yeah.
gives you joy, and you can
And you don't want to
live.
stop some days, yeah. So that's good. And then you've got to manage. Sometimes if you're between interests,
Yeah,
that can get tricky.
Yeah.
Because it's like a book finishes, and sometimes you sort of think, oh, gee, that's a shame that book's over now.
and you just want to keep drawing stuff about that. You just want to keep
and
going.
researching and stuff,
Yeah.
and then you do go through periods where you don't have an interest at the time. I always think that you have a subject or a project, and
Yeah.
and you try and turn the subject into the project. But sometimes if you don't have a subject, you don't have a project, and then
Yeah.
you're a bit listless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so where these subjects, like, does the inspiration for these subjects, like when something lights you up, and you go, oh, I could make that into a book, or I could do this, or I could take this interest that I've just discovered, not unlike Yahoo Creek, Toby.
Well, that's a very good example.
Can you tell us like how
Oh,
yeah.
I
We
don't
could
know
have-
if anyone's seen
You've got
this
that there.
before,
We've
but,
got
this is
on the
a-
screen. Sorry, just yeah.
Well, look, when I so when I moved, I look. Another thing about doing this sort of work is you have to exercise your curiosity, because that's where ideas come from. That's So if you're incurious, you're going to have real trouble finding
Yeah.
ideas and things. So,
Yeah.
like when I arrived in Katoomba full time about 2007 now.
Yeah, right. That's a while ago.
I heard mention of Yowies. Has anyone heard of Yowies?
Yeah.
And I hadn't. And I thought, what on earth are they talking about? But there was this talk, and then I did some research and I found out that this was a Yowie hotspot.
Yeah.
And I thought, geez, that's
Also
interesting.
weird hotspots.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
There's all sorts of hotspots. It's like but and so anyway, and the more I sort of explored that, because I thought, well, what does this mean?
Yeah.
I didn't know the answer, but in exploring it, it threw up all these questions about reality and history, archaeology, anthropology, all these things. And so I thought, this is a really interesting subject, no matter what belief you come to.
Yeah.
And also the long indigenous history of the hairy man. So there's all these things going on, and it's kind of a very Australian kind of mystery.
Yeah.
And so I just sort of was researching, and I found it really interesting, more interesting than some of than other people found often.
Yeah.
But and then I kind of developed an artwork style that seemed to. So I kind of wanted to do some pictures of like picturing old reports of Yowies from the 19th century that you can look up in old newspapers.
Yeah.
And so that became. This was on and off for 5 years. This project, because there was so much to research and everything. But it was basically turning an interest.
Yeah.
Like on a slow night over drinks, I might start talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's hard to stop sometimes because there's so much. I don't know. It's a fascinating subject. It isn't. It isn't what it simply looks like. It begs so many questions that are worth trying to answer or explore.
Yeah.
So anyway, and that became a book. And honestly, it's amazing it got published, because no one was saying we really need a book about 19th century stories about some hairy man figure. You know what I mean? Like if
But they
it's
didn't
not
know
your
they
typical
didn't know they
publishing
needed it till you
proposal.
created it. Like
Well,
because people kind of get stuck in the formula of television's full of it, everything's full of it. Like I've got to watch myself with this, that I don't just fall into some other format that someone else has already done. But the person whose internal landscape gets so full and so complex and so well-rounded because they've done the reading, because they've had the interest, because you kind of know what he's going to do next, because you know so much about the subject because your curiosity led you there.
Yeah.
And then when other people read it, they go, I've never ever thought about that from that unique perspective.
Yeah.
So they didn't know that they needed it until you created it.
Well, I think it's true. The best thing any human can do is work out what they feel deeply about and strongly about, and it's almost unique to them, and then work out how to develop their self-expression to a level where they can share that through a medium, art, writing, music, and in doing so, they a bit like what Charmaine was saying. They add to the body of knowledge and ideas that is humanity. You know.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
yeah.
Well, like, you know, Oscar Wilde.
It seemed relevant anyway to.
Yeah, like Oscar Wilde, you know, like got it down into a thing. Be yourself. Everyone else is taken.
Yeah, that's right.
Like that backing, like, and I think that's a really hard thing to do in an environment and in a school environment or in a social thingo where everyone's trying to fit in.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
to be yourself, to be okay with what you are,
Yeah.
who you are, what your crazy, weird interest in 19th century.
What do you want to carry on about?
Yeah, yeah, whatever you, to allow you.
Yeah.
Is that something you think comes with maturity, or is that something that is a character type? Or I'm just trying to think of like I'm just drawing on my own experiences.
Sure, yeah.
It took me years to have any idea of who I was and what was important to me.
Mm.
And before that, I was just trying to fit in with whatever was going on.
Yeah.
So did that sort of, is that something for you that, like, from your experience, was there someone in your life that helped you cultivate that? Was it something in your character that was just naturally there that over time and maturity you got it, or was it something completely different, you know?
It helps to be encouraged. I think my mum was a big supporter. I don't know how many parents really encourage their kids to be an artist. You know, so but she really did, and I think she kind of overrated my abilities. She really did. I look back and I go, really? You know, like I was, you know, I was a better drawer than quite a few kids in the class, but there were better ones again, totally. But anyway, but no, having some encouragement really helps. And but yeah, whether it's maturity or not, you kind of, I guess you, I don't know, it's just more interesting to do what you're really interested in, and not try and do what you think you should do or what seems to work for other people. And yeah, like basically the world needs people to be themselves. Like you're being yourself, and look at this, you know, that's what's needed in terms of culture and people are have this fear in a way of putting sticking their neck out and saying, you know, I want to say this or make this, or because no one's asking for it, no one's imagined it yet. You know, it's up to you or can't we? You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
It's way past my bedtime on a Sunday night, so I'm kind of.
No, I think you're right there. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and Rick Rubin was talking about the role of an artist to make a divine offering, to create something that is uniquely from them to the absolute best of their capacity, not to the market, not to Instagram, not to anything else, but as a divine offering of the best that they can be in their art, and so.
No, that's good because you've got to aim high. Like you might not you know.
Yeah, you might not
Like
get there, but like, you
Like
know,
even just trying to make something beautiful is
Yeah.
really, really hard.
Yeah.
I find it. And
Yeah.
but if you aim for that, you
Yeah.
might get a little bit closer to it than
Mhm.
if you weren't aiming.
she'll be right, mate. It doesn't.
Yeah,
yeah.
near enough is good enough. That
Yeah.
kind of, or you know, that passes muster these days, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
And
Gosh,
what
it-
about? And so, do you have any? Like, I know this sounds like a bit of a cliched sort of question, and like maybe as an interviewer that's not prepared and scraping the bottom of the barrel, but but if you were to look back now to young Toby, is there anything you would have said, hey, do this different, or put less emphasis on this, or are you just like, no, this is just how it's supposed to be?
Oh, I don't know. Young Toby was pretty feral.
Yeah.
Weird thinking
Full
kind of
of-
kid.
Yeah, right, you know, yeah.
Um,
But he's in there, inside, he's in there, and he's...
Yeah, I think that's another thing about children's literature that you would hope that that young person is still in you and alive. That's a living part of you, because you've
Yeah.
got to remember what it felt like to be a kid to write something for them. I reckon, you know, like just how scary things are, how visceral things are,
Yeah.
you know, mysterious, enchanting, all those things. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know. Young Toby just got in lots of trouble. Not for
Not
being
no, he
like
didn't go looking for it. Just
no, just getting sent out a lot for
Yeah.
talking and
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know. Yeah, yeah. That's
sounds like
I
it
have to
worked
think
out
about
just-
that.
Yeah, sounds like it worked out just fine though. Oh, Mel is being promoted on the show. She's now executive producer. She basically runs the show, and she's over there, kind of giving me sort of like subtle signals that Dave, stay focused. Ask me for the next thing.
the word spy.
Yeah. What's this about?
This is
On
how
the
long have we got?
screen. Did you see that?
Ah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I know it's just, you know, must be how Julia Zamiro feels.
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
So did I even say
I-
her name right? Did I say it right? Close enough.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be upset. She'd love it. She'd love it.
Oh yeah. No, I was just saying to this has a little bit of a SB vibe. You know what you
Oh
do
yeah.
here.
We
Yeah.
can't get on SBS. We've even got a T-shirt.
Oh no, Esplanade. You know the
Oh.
in St Kilda where they did the
Oh,
rock quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I talked to the guys at SBS. No, I did. And I just said, look, like, we're really white and, you know, really heterosexual and like I know we're never ever getting on SBS, but I still kind of want to. And I just sort of like, I just sort of figure that maybe they'll get the joke and they'll go, oh, it's a comedy thing. It's rather than that. I just don't think I fit into the groove. Right, yeah. So there's always hope. I don't know if I want to just reject them or not. You know, so I can sort of like save myself from. I don't want to hope for it. Anyway, we've got distracted. Tell us about this. This is an SB thing apparently.
No, well, no, it is what it is. But
It is,
It
yeah.
just there were little. It was reminiscent of anyway.
Reminiscent.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm just listening. I'm just listening to the eloquence.
It's a euphonious word.
Euphonious.
But anyway, so this is the word spy. This was written by Ursula de Basarski, who is one of our great writers of longer prose and picture books too.
Yeah.
And we worked together for a while, and this idea developed while we were working together. And my job was to illustrate concepts of language, which goes back to what Charmaine was talking about.
Yeah.
Which is you know, like often if you try to learn grammar, you get a book on grammar, and it's just black. It's just white. So black words on white paper.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't say that it's about. It's just it looks like any book.
Yeah.
Whereas if you make the information visual as well,
Yes.
and you make it clearly expressing ideas around language,
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of people who will understand that better than trying to read about it. And so this interested me because that suited me, because I think I'm more a visual learner, and I think a lot of people are, and Charmaine's right, like humans remember pictures better than words, and literacy is a very new use of the brain. So so it should be either oral or visual.
Sorry, Amy, I should have listened to what. I just had one of the because it's like it's so old. Of course, it's going to be better. It probably when you think about it, probably you're taking a brain that's just built for surviving on the savannah, and then you're trying to hack it. You're trying to hack some part of the brain that had no purpose at all with text, and you're trying to piggyback text into maybe some of the pictorial, like some of the Asian languages that are more pictorial in their nature.
I like pictographic with the
pictograph,
hieroglyphics.
So would they be? I'm going out on a limb here.
Yeah.
But can you imagine? Just go with me on this, because so like the percentage of people in Western English speaking thingos that are just stuffed with text, because the part of their brain that you have to hack to make text work isn't there. Would that be in cultures that that their text is more pictorial in nature? Would they have a better uptake, like a more broader awareness of?
Well, there's. I don't know the answer to
What
that.
about you, Amy? What about you, Amy? What do you reckon?
I haven't looked into that, but I now actually got a new special interest.
Oh, fantastic! There we go. There we go. Fantastic.
But,
okay, we've got distracted, Toby. I've got
well, there's.
But I really
I
like.
think we both would have got sent out of class.
We're
in school together.
We'd have some great conversations out in the corridor until we got in trouble for talking.
And then you have to.
So
then you get sent to.
So this project that you did, it was to make text more accessible.
Well, make the ideas more accessible by. I ended up doing a visual book of grammar after I did these, which was trying to show the ideas of grammar as visually as possible. So all the information was artwork. Even if there were words, they would be hand stamped, and so it's all got texture. It's like mnemonics. There's ways of remembering things, and often simple things like if the information is surprising, it's colourful, it's large, it's textured. It's got all these extra ways of imprinting on your brain, like text doesn't. Text is just black and white. And it's what if you can read really well and you'll get things. That's the art of writing. But like a lot of information is better absorbed if it has all these extra qualities to it.
Because I spoke to a mate of mine's a doctor, and he was a coffee client before he was a doctor, so we had a much looser relationship than normal doctor relationship.
Yeah, you don't have to go too far into that. But
nothing weird. But I had a thing, I had to go to the hospital and get something checked on my heart, and he went like that.
Yeah.
He was writing the report, he went like that. And because it's a children's show tonight, I'm not going to, but it was all someone or others take cash. So, and I said, what's that about? And he said this thing, which is the chambers of the heart, or the parts of the heart, each had a letter, and he said, if you want to remember something like in medical school, the more graphic, the more offensive, the more engaging that you make it, the more it sticks.
It's more memorable,
And so
that's the trick of information, like making it more visual and have all these.
And to make a whole book about grammar, which is so dry and so complex. Nobody, maybe James does because he digs that sort of stuff. But the ideas of rules of grammar, you can do this, you can't do that, just seem. To make anything because it doesn't seem like anyone had done that before. I
it's
just didn't see it.
it's not uncommon. I mean, that's another thing too. Like when you get ideas for books, you would hope that you haven't really seen that
Yeah.
before, like that you're making something at least you haven't seen before, and you'd like to see what it looks like or how that book will work. So, I think it's a good thing if you don't think you've seen it before. It might exist, but
Yeah,
if you're making up something you've never seen before,
yeah,
that's
gotta be good.
that's the magic of creativity in a way, isn't it? Like something out of nothing.
Yeah. Mark, is this a symbol? Yep. Okay. That was a real harsh cut of what we would have liked to go into some sort of segue moment, but Mark never walks. Oh yeah. Okay. Toby, you're a modern man. My wife Joanne likes to give people flowers, but she couldn't be here tonight. And just like to say thanks so much for coming on the show. And
Yeah.
thanks for sharing.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to finish off the show, can we have a show of hands of who thinks it's a fantastic idea to launch the Ben Chifley Memorial Street Cricket Club out here? Oh, we need a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I think we need a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, righto.
Where's
Okay.
Mark?
Yeah. All right. Okay. Have we got enough time for Talina to do the awkward what's on? Mel, do you want to help her? All right. Okay. Toby, I'll take
I'll
that.
sneak off. Yeah.
Yeah. And then what we'll do is we'll after you guys. Hip hop artist, and she also does a huge amount of work helping young people who are absolutely struggling with fitting into the world and not make shit decisions that get them in a terrible place. So all this great stuff that you guys are doing, creating amazing books that change society and guide people, doesn't always land. And there's a whole lot of people that are really struggling to find their place in the world, and they're making some pretty rubbish decisions. And Talina does a huge amount of work to help them to see the possibilities of better decisions. And she is going to do with Mel, the awkward what's on. I'm going to pass it off.
Hello.
You need to get out.
This is going to be
Wait,
so
hang on.
awkward
Sorry.
because
Was that awkward?
Title,
Started well.
yeah.
What are we doing today?
I don't know. I don't even have the paper. I don't know what's going on.
Well,
But it's my job to tell you what's going on.
I've been handed this on our way out, so I guess shall I hold it up? Oh, hang on. There we go. Okay. Oh wait, this isn't really working. Hey, wait. Okay.
Are we doing the thing where we show it to the camera?
Do we need to show it to the camera?
Yeah.
But no, it's not written. We can't see it that way.
All right. So Youth Week event. We got to.
Oh, okay, right.
Zine workshop with SD Sarsfield. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Oh, hello.
He's in
Oh, maybe
the
we should
audience
have
tonight,
it
our
at
winner.
the time. But this is for young people aged 12 to 24 years old. I can't lie, I might be a little bit dyslexic. Just to help things. Thursday, 16th of April from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. It is free and bookings are essential. So yeah, Blue Mountains Library. You can probably find more information about that on the website. Yes.
All right.
Confirmation, love it.
Here we have an author talk with Fiona Horn at Springwood Library, 2nd of April, 7 p.m. For Coven, where witches gather. Is that? Yeah, there we go. Awesome.
Doesn't get more mountains than that. Katoomba Late Night, a community shopping event. Sick. Sorry, I'm learning as you guys do. Friday, 10th of April, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Katoomba Street. Also got a scavenger hunt, music and refreshments. Your favourite local shops are staying open late. Come see the street in a different light.
Mama Kinspender promises to a live in concert at the Baroque Room, Katoomba, Saturday the 18th of April, 2026.
This one is. Wait, this way. There we go. Okay, Blue Mountains Portraits, Blue Mountains Cultural Centre on Saturday the 28th. Oh, that's the year 26th. Let me try that again. Saturday 28th of March to Sunday 19th of April 2026. I don't know how you can find more information, but hey, Cultural Centre. Yeah.
And then we've got Blue Mountains Comedy at the Metropole Katoomba with Takashi Wakasugi. I hope I pronounced that correctly. From Japan, it's Wabi Sabi Comedy, as seen on Guy Montgomery's Spelling Bee. Thank God you're here, Taskmaster Australia. And this is on Wednesday, May 13th, 2026. Dinner indoors from 5 p.m, showtime 7:30 p.m. There we go. Done. That's it. That's the what's
Right,
on.
hold on.
Did I do
Hold
them
on,
all?
There's one more.
No, I did that one. It was under the others.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
You
sick
know, you can
question.
do it as well if you want.
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
Alright.
All good, what's on?
Thank you.
I think we just made it even awkwarder. This segment is really working to its name. Guys, thanks very much for hanging around for so long. Thanks very much for supporting the show. Please, can we give Rian like a massive clap for just like all that stuff on the screen, all those things, like we're all having a great time and he's actually working really hard. Rian's doing the job of, normally if you would do this sort of thing, you'd have one guy and all they do is manage the stream, and then you have another girl who, see, I was diverse then, I did that on purpose, eh? And then you'd have another person who would do the camera stuff, and you'd have another this is like a big deal, and Rian comes and does it all on record time and just like gets it done. And by the way, Rian's actually the guitarist and singer of epic metal band called Tap Hammer, and so yeah, check him out, get the album, yeah. Do yourself a favour. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, thanks mate. Yeah, see, Mark keeps me from making mistakes all the time. Yeah, please, thanks very much for the Art of Joinery, Chris and Gaines. And yeah, check out their Facebook, The Art of Joinery, check out their YouTube. And thanks very much for all of you people for coming out on a Sunday night. It's a school night. And thanks very much for supporting us. And do us a favour, tell all your mates about the show. We really want to get Blue Mountains artists and creative people and our community out to the world. And hopefully as the show grows, and you know, we might even get some sponsors and get better cameras, because these are just outdoor stunt cameras, and that'll make it look even more like a show, and then we can get more of artists' work. Mark from Design Heroes does fantastic work creating merch for people and sort of supplementary inputs, income streams for artists. And then if we really nail it over an extended period of time, we're really keen to launch Sold Out Records, and that'll be a print-on-demand vinyl only record label. And without getting too technical, like Bandcamp and Spotify, artists get nothing for the money that they get spent. But we're hoping if we do it vinyl only, there'll be really good royalties for artists and specifically Blue Mountains artists. So if you have ideas for the show, if you want to see certain people interviewed, if there's a certain segment of our community, you know, visual artists or photographers or landscape or whatever it is that you want to see on the show, reach out through the website www.thesoulside.tv. Subscribe, do all the things that they say on professional shows to make it go better. And once again, bless you all, and thanks so much for coming out. All right.
So if you find yourself in the Blue Mountains, sweet music coming your way, come sit yourself down in the best bar in town, a place called the Soulside Cafe. You'll be glad to be found in the best bar in town, a place called the Soulside Cafe. And it's all on the soul side of town. There's a place called the Soulside Cafe on the quiet side of the track, where the train will bring you this way and another to take you right back. There's a 1,000-mile coffee machine. He stands with a welcome and smile. When he asks how you going, he means it. This coffee could take you a while. If you find yourself in the Blue Mountains, sweet music coming your way, come sit yourself down in the best bar in town, a place called the Soulside Cafe. A motorbike stands by the bar, where the singer shows off his new song, with words coming straight from the heart. An old Carla's still rocking along. Banjo hangs down from the ceiling, the walls are festooned with guitars.